backs of your head. But I just want to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Cantor Zell is starting on Zoom with Rabbi Sherman and our rabbinic intern. Did I get that wrong?
No, you're good.
Oh, no,
there he is.
he's not here. He's ending on Zoom. So, and Ryan Lesnar is on Zoom as well. So they're leading the community, but not in here. So if you see us go back and forth, the other thing I'm told is we're having some Zoom issues. So if we do have some Zoom issues and they can't see us in the sanctuary on Zoom, I am going to disappear for 5 minutes and give the story on Zoom separately.
Great.
So with the technology and the welcome aside, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Can I add a few words?
Yeah, and then let's sing.
So welcome, everyone. This is what we call our special TGIS. Thank God it is Shabbat service. Every week we welcome all generations, but this week we are led by all generations. So I'm really grateful to have our teen Tefillah band with us as well. We also try to make sure on TGIS evenings that our teaching is relevant for all generations as well, which makes the service a little bit shorter and the decorum a little bit more casual. I don't see the littlest in our community in person, but if anyone needs a break during services, we invite you to take a break. There are also some fidgets and things to keep your hands busy if that helps you to engage during services as well. So we're glad to be together as a full community this evening. Let us warm up our voices.
All right. I'm just here as backup. Zach, Sarah, Tefillah band, you ready? Friends, are you ready to bring in Shabbat? Lai, 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 lai. Sing it out, fill it up. Lai, 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 lai.
Before we bring in Shabbat, we say goodbye to the work that we have completed this week. Let go of some of that stress, and there is one last act of creation or work that we fulfill before we bring in Shabbat, and that is the giving of tzedakah, or charity, which this week will go to Yad Chesed, as on Purim, we make a tradition of giving to those who are in need in our community. So I'm going to invite all of our children, which means all of those who are yet to become bar mitzvah in our community, which tonight does include Louise, Daniel, and Max for the final night. I'm going to invite all of our children up to the bima to give tzedakah with me, and Louise is going to come forward to light our Shabbat candles as well. So come on up, everyone. And as they come forward, we're going to put away our cell phones, anything that might distract us from being in this moment and welcoming Shabbat. I see that our Zoom community is with us as well, which means that many of you have your candles to draw near in our Zoom sanctuary to bring the light into this space as well. So as we finish giving tzedakah, let us bring in this light of Shabbat. Come on over, Louise. You have the honor of lighting our Shabbat candles as our bat mitzvah this evening. Go right ahead. Let's go help light the candles. Yeah. You can leave it.
Our friends, we can stay up close here, gathering around Louise.
So let us all take our hands and reach them towards the light as we bring the light closer to us. And join together, page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
one another and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Mazel tov to you, Louise. Let's be seated.
Louise. And so now that we've brought in the light of Shabbat, we join together with songs of praise, singing joyfully, singing proudly, singing with praise and blessing of the week past, bringing in the week ahead, joining in with words of Shabbat. L'chu neranena. Let's join together.
L'chu neranena. Page 130. L'Adonai Nariyah Litzor Yishenu Nikar Mafana Betodah
Beloved, come to greet Shabbat. We continue on page 138 with Lecha Dodi.
Invite up our Tefillah band members to join us. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad V'shemo echad L'shem ultiferet rise in body or spirit as we greet the Sabbath bride.
Boi vishalom ateret bala kam besimcha uvitzola toch emunei am segula boi chala
We remain standing as we turn to page 146 as we gather together in the words of Baruch Hu.
La 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai.
And together we respond,
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed
Le'olam Va'ed La 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 la
let us find our seats, centering ourselves with breath, with oneness, as we join together on page 152 with words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
I thought that in recognition of Women's History Month, we would take an opportunity to honor some of our female composers in the Jewish canon of music. And so what better prayer to do that with than with Mi Chamocha, the prayer which Miriam led the women and children through the parted sea to freedom, to joy, to hope. So let's join together in these words of Mi Chamocha. I believe we're on page 158. This week we honor Debbie Friedman. Yai, lai, yai, la, lai, la, lai, la, ya, la, lai, yai, lai, yai, la, lai, la, lai, la, lai, ya, lai, la, lai, 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 la, lai, 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 yai, lai, yai, lai, ya, lai, 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, hokei al yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Eli anu ve'amru, ze Eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lalai, yai lai 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 ya lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
On Shabbat, we sing with joy, and we also lift up prayers for peace, for love, for shalom, which we wish for each other, which we wish for the whole world. We join together on page 161. Let there be love.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'hamidenu, Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'shalom, L'shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We have so much to be grateful for in our lives as we come to the conclusion of one more week and we enter into the joy of one more Shabbat. And so, as we turn to the Amidah, to the central moment in our service, we begin with a prayer that we be able to pray. Adonai svatai tiftach, Adonai, open up my lips, and let us have the first words from our lips be inspired by gratitude from this week. So I want you to think back and hold on to something from this week that brought you joy, that uplifts you, and lets those prayers flow through your heart and out through your lips. Together we join on 164 and rise to the Amidah.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagir tehilatecha, Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagir tehilatecha, open up our lips so we may praise your name. Open up our hearts so we can feel our pain. Open up our souls, let our love make us whole, and we will praise.
Praise
Your name, Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagir tehilatecha, Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagir tehilatecha.
We continue with the prayers of our own hearts, inspired by the words of the Siddur, or whatever moves you to pray.
I think we are certainly in need of some peace. So we ask the Creator of peace on high to make peace for us, for all of Israel, for all who dwell on this earth. I think we might know these words, so let's join together.
Ose shalom b'roma. Ose shalom b'roma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Be Roma.
When we gather in community, we gather for moments to lift each other up, and Shabbat is no exception. We offer prayers of healing. We offer a Misha Berach for those who are in need of an extra measure of shalom, of shlemut, of peace, of wholeness as we enter into this Shabbat. If you are thinking of someone you love who is in need of an extra measure of shalom, of healing this Shabbat, I invite you to rise. We can come and collect the names of those you are thinking of. On Zoom, you are welcome to place their names in the chat that we may offer them prayers of healing as a community. We'll turn to page 371, Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Each Shabbat, we also give thanks for the God-given miracles and blessings that we experience every week. We like to celebrate first all of those who have celebrated a birthday in the past week. I know there are many of you on Zoom who have celebrated a birthday. I'm going to start. Do you know where your family is on here today?
I haven't seen them yet.
You haven't? Oh, I see them right here.
Oh, there they are.
Brian and Alyssa Zell, happy birthday to you. Mazel tov. Let's see if anyone else is celebrating a birthday. Anyone here in person this week celebrating a birthday? I see many mentioned in the chat. Mazel tov and happy birthday to you as well. Any anniversaries we're celebrating this evening? Not in person. How about on Zoom? Raise a hand, make yourself known. I can see you. I have my computer here on the bima. Any anniversaries? Mazel tov, if I have missed you. and other celebrations of joy are milestones. I, of course, want to wish a special mazel tov to Louise and to Max and to Daniel, who are our leaders and teachers this Shabbat. Mazel tov to you. And to all these milestones of first celebrations of love and life, let us give thanks by celebrating with words of Shehachianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh.
Thanks, Zach. Shabbat Shalom. There are people in the sanctuary. Let's hear you. Shabbat Shalom. Ah, that's nice. And on Zoom as well. It's TGIS, a night when the sermon is shorter and appropriate for all ages, which is actually very easy to do this evening because tonight's Torah portion talks about one of the simplest but most important mitzvahs in the entire Torah. And that is a mitzvah that is repeated over and over again. The word in the mitzvah is repeated actually 50 times in the Torah, and that is to care for the strangers, for we were once strangers in the land of Egypt. For let's remember, it was in Egypt where our ancestors, our relatives, were slaves so many years ago, building the giant pyramids, working and working and working, and they worked even harder. And then when they worked harder, Pharaoh said, work some more. And they worked and they worked and worked until Moses received a word from God to go to Pharaoh and say, let my people go. And Moses went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go. But each time Pharaoh said no, no, no. And so we're told plagues came upon Egypt, and we read about them every Passover. Darkness and frogs and insects and even more. Until finally our ancestors, our relatives, finally fled. They left. They actually ran from the Egyptians. And they ran because the Egyptians were chasing them, and they were in danger. And you can only imagine the fear that our ancestors felt, because at one point they're running and running and running, and they hit the Red Sea. And the water's in front of them, and the Egyptians are behind them, and the Egyptians are coming and coming and coming, and they don't know what to do. And finally, one of them steps his foot in the water, and what happens? The water parts. And there's a wall of water on one side, and there's a wall of water on the other side, and in the middle of the water, sand. And the people could actually walk through in between the water to freedom on the other side. And then God says something that's in our Torah portion this evening. And that is to make a sanctuary. Every one of you in the community, build a tabernacle, a sanctuary, a place to go where you can feel safe. And believe it or not, that's what we still do today. We build sanctuaries, safe places where people can go who need a home, people who are running from war or danger and need a hand to welcome them and feed them and clothe them and hug them. And that's what our community has been doing for a number of years now, because we know we were once strangers in the land of Egypt. We know what it means to run in fear. And we know how important it is to reach out to others who need an open hand. We know what it means to build a sanctuary. And so tonight, ironically, on this portion, it is a night that HIAS, a Jewish organization known as the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, a very old organization in America that actually helped a lot of our relatives and ancestors when they first arrived to America, perhaps a century ago. But HIAS still exists, and they've named this Shabbat Refugee Shabbat. And so on this evening, I want to thank our immigrant justice team who have welcomed the stranger so beautifully in the past years and helped build this sanctuary. In fact, not only did they welcome Syrian families a number of years ago and did extraordinary things, but in the last few months, they welcomed 3 families escaping the war in Afghanistan. Incredible work for which we should all be proud. And we in this room and on Zoom all know that there's a lot more work to do. In fact, there are now more refugees in Europe, the place where many of our relatives came from. More refugees in Europe now than at any time since World War II. Millions of people are fleeing. And we as a Jewish people know what it means to flee, especially in Europe, with no place to go. And so we need to, as a Jewish community, reach out to them. And so tonight at 8 o'clock, we have a program on Zoom sponsored by our immigrant justice team, in which they will spotlight 7 members of our congregation who will tell their own immigration story from Russia and Poland and Azerbaijan and Egypt and Germany. And I hope you'll go back home and listen. And then we as a community will work hard to continue to welcome the stranger in our midst and build a sanctuary. Like the Torah tells us in our Torah portion, it should be done by every single person. That's how they built the tabernacle. That's how they built the sanctuary, which means we can do it, the smallest to the oldest, whether it be in school, welcoming a stranger, befriending someone who just looks a little scared in the room, or here, maybe just saying hello, sitting next to a person that looks a little new, reaching out, making them feel at home. You were strangers in the land of Egypt. Reach out. That's an important mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom. And so I want you to see a video about the Syrian families who came here, spoke no English. Once again, they were fleeing a civil war. They had never met a Jewish community or a Jew. You can imagine growing up in Syria, not only had they never met a Jewish person, but they had heard awful things about the Jewish people who lived next door. They came with no English, no familiarity with America, and now a number of years later, you're going to be seeing the kids sitting with one of the children of a family of our team who welcomed them. It's about 3 minutes, and it's pretty amazing to watch what it means when a child comes to America and how quickly they can learn English without an accent. So, Max and Maddie, if you're able to see some of the accomplishments that this family, the Hayanis, have made in America, refugees from the war in Syria.
What is friendship? We don't fight, we stay friends.
Trust, kind, like you said, and loyal to each other. What was the most challenging thing about coming here? Moving and trying to be the same thing.
Yeah, we moved a lot, and really it was just the language.
What was the most surprising thing?
The school, it's way different than Middle East. It was surprising how how the day was going. First you do one announcement, and then you start the day.
Can you tell me a little about your like emotions, like what you felt when you arrived here?
I kind of like, I liked it, but then like, I told my dad, are we gonna go back to the Middle East? And he said, no, we're gonna stay here.
Here's like better, but like I still like miss my friends and families. What's one of your memories from your first year here?
Like every day we would wake up really early in the morning because people would come over, get us like toys and like come here, help my parents with papers and take us a lot.
What's your like favorite thing about America? What's your favorite thing that you've grown to like here? It's different.
Everyone's really nice, like at school and everywhere we go. And when we first got here, it was like really nice of them like taking us and helping us.
When did you feel like you started to fit in? Well, you started like to fit in when you like go to school, because like you get like to learn English and play soccer with people and like meet them.
And our like first house when we got here, our neighbor had like soccer tent and stuff, and we played with them a lot and talked to them.
What do you want to be when you guys grow up? What do you think?
My parents really want me to be a doctor, like a heart or a brain doctor, but all he wants to be a soccer player.
You happy here?
I'm happy. I like it here.
Every year during Passover, we read the words, Bechol dor vador, chayav adam lirot et atzmo ki'iluhu, yatsa mitzrayim. In every generation, we must believe that we ourselves, we must remember that we were freed from Egypt. Bechol dor vador, חייב האדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים.
בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים.
בכל דור ודור,
בכל דור ודור,
חייב האדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים.
Can you picture yourself crossing through and wandering the desert? Can you feel the wind support you as you go? Do you hear the cries of those left behind, still hoping for tomorrow? Do you fear the mountains you still have to climb? בכל דור ודור חייב האדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים. בכל דור ודור חייב האדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, 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 יצא ממצרים.
Thank you so much, Cantor Zell and Cantor Rosa, for that beautiful offering.
You're welcome.
Rabbinic.
That was student
Student.
Rabbi Ryan on Zoom. How wonderful. Thank you, student Rabbi Ryan.
One sacred community.
So I'll let you in on a little secret. This is the point in services where we split up, and Zoom is all on their own, and it's just us in the sanctuary. So you can hear a little bit how that works behind the scenes. But let us transition to remembering those who have gone before us, Bechol Dor Vador, throughout the generations of our people. We think of those who are no longer with us, whether we remember them this week as their anniversary, their yahrzeit falls on this Shabbat, or whether we have lost them most recently and are in a current period of mourning. So this Shabbat, we remember those who have recently passed in our community: Marlene Edelman, David Bernstein, Marcia Prester, Lloyd Roos, and Melissa Beth Stutchins. And we have been asked to read the names of the yahrzeits of Harriet Friedman, mother of Margot Friedman, and Sally Liebman, mother of Laura Gilman. We want to ask you, if you are remembering someone this Shabbat, to share the name of your loved one with us by rising, whether it is in body or in spirit. We will receive their names and collect them into our hearts as well. I'll take that slide. Marnie. Let us rise as a community in support of these mourners as we turn to page 598 to recite the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Ulamei Almaya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shalom Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imeru. Amen.
Amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. So let's be seated very briefly. We have some Shabbat announcements. There is much going on here in the upcoming weeks. I first want to say how wonderful it is to see so many of you fill our sanctuary this evening from all generations. And I specifically want to welcome a guest to our community, Ephraim Udowitz, wave, hello, who is the new director of URJ Crane Lake Camp. You can sister camp of Eisner as well. So it's wonderful to have you with us. So let us share some Shabbat announcements. The first is that Rabbi Sissenwein mentioned there is a Zoom program at 8 o'clock this evening, so maybe you will run home safely and join us on Zoom for our immigration justice program. Our next Shabbat is at a special time. Please take note, 7:30, not 6 o'clock, 7:30, because we are honoring our newest rabbi, Vanessa Harper. It will be her installation, and we're going to learn from her mentor as well. She'll have a few words of welcome to share with us as well. So that is next Shabbat. Purim is on our mind already. We have many opportunities to fulfill the mitzvot of giving at this season. You'll see in your e-blast that we're collecting for Boston Community Pediatrics. There's a bin out front collecting all sorts of things that the kids need to attend camp this summer. And we're also collecting, was that it? Is that good? Yeah?
I
Okay.
wanted to add something.
She wanted to add something.
For anybody who's here who has not been tapped to help us lead one of our Purim parodies, if you like to perform and you want to get up on the bima and have fun with us and be silly, come let me know, and we're going to find a spot for you to come up on the bima with a group of people. You'll be supported by our band. It's going to be so fun. I hope you'll all join us in person on Wednesday, March 16th.
Amazing. Our donations for Yad Chesed are still open online, and we're also still supporting the Ukraine emergency funds that you'll see in your emails as well. Anything else we should lift up? Yes. Finally, we are able to celebrate our Cantor Emerita with our evening to remember and celebrate her many years of service to the community. The invitations went out this week for the weekend of May 6th and 7th. So please RSVP, join us. It's going to be an incredible, incredible evening. There's so much more, but we're gonna move on to our Shabbat blessings. So let me invite forward Daniel and Max, who are going to work together to lead us in our blessings. They were originally supposed to become the mitzvah in the same service. So we're going to join together for blessings tonight. So first is our Kiddush. Daniel is going to take the honor of holding up our Kiddush cup. Page 123. Let's join together in the community blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh zecher tziyat Mitzrayim kivanu b'charta ve'otanu kidashach mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshemach be'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltananu.
Nice and high.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. You get the honor,
L'chaim, you get to take the sip.
and
let's-
you have the honor of uncovering the challah, Max.
And I should just thank our helpers. We are going to return to our Oneg Shabbat very soon. We're going to be able to eat. The reentry committee said we're allowed now, so we're transitioning. But people are going to miss this delivery to your seat service. It's like Fenway Park in the fancy seats. You can just order your food right to your seat. So don't get too used to this, because we're going to go back there real soon. But if you have your challah, let's all rise. And they'll lead us in Motzi, and then we'll wish each other Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lehem min haaretz. Amen.
And you get to take off your masks and take a bite. And we can wish your families a hearty mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
And wish each other Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.